everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Today I'm going to be making some fresh fried okra. Now we have a garden outside and our okra is coming in. I have put a ton of okra up in the freezer. The way I do mine is I just cut it up like I'm going to show you how to do today, and then I'm put it in the freezer bag and microwave it, kind of steam it in the bag, cool it completely, and just put it in the bag. I have a cousin, Paula. She taught me a new way to do it. I've not tried this yet, but I'm hoping to soon. She cuts hers up and then she does her her cornmeal in it and works it up, and then she puts it on a pan, sets it in the freezer, freezes it, and then bags it, and then that's how she does hers. So it's already skillet ready. So I'm gonna try that one of these days, but I'm gonna show you guys how I cut this up, and I'm gonna show you guys how I fry it in the pan, because we're just gonna eat this fresh out of the garden. Now, once your okra starts coming in, we've got a row and a half of okra, and it has not stopped since we started getting the first bundle. You have to cut it every other day, and you have to cut it when it's pretty small, because you do not want for it to get too large, because it gets hard really quick. I'm going to try to show you what you need, how you need to pick them, and then the ones that get too hard too quick. So let's get started. I've already cut some. This is a good little mess. It ain't going to make a ton, but we're not feeding too many today. All right, this is a smaller one, and this is what you do is you bring it in. You cut. My husband cuts it. We bring it in and wash it and let it dry. And these have been drying. He washed them last night, and they were dried. And so these came out of the garden yesterday, so it's very fresh. So you're just going to cut this end off right here, and then you're just going to cut it, the rest of it, in little discs, that's what I call them, into your pan. Now this is a bigger one. I'm not sure if it's going to be hard or not. It may not. Hopefully it won't. No, it's a little harder, but it's still okay to cut because my knife's going through it. Now you're going to know if it's too hard because your knife is not going to want to go through it. You're going to get stuck. So let me cut these few, and I've got one or two hard ones I saved out for you to show you what that looks like. Okay, these look good. Now here is a hard one. I tried to cut the top, and it was very hard to get off, and then I started trying to cut down this way, and it's fighting me. So that's too hard. See, you cut into it, and there's no way to cut it. It's really hard, so you don't want that. Now I'm going to show you this one. This one is when you try to cut, it's really hard. That middle part might be okay. I probably can cut it one or two off that, because you don't want to waste nothing when you grow something in the garden. But see how hard that just wants to tear? That's way too hard. So that one's too hard too. All right, so I have a little mess here. Like I said, it's not a huge amount, but we'll fry this up, and I'm going to show you guys how. So that's what it looks like in the bowl. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some salt and pepper on it. And I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder. We like garlic powder on ours. Some people put a little buttermilk on theirs. I've never tried that. You could. But if you let it sit here after you cut it and put some salt and pepper on it for a minute, it's going to get a lot of juice up, because okra's kind of juicy, slimy is what you kind of say, I guess. But you just kind of let it sit here for a minute. I could try a little buttermilk, I guess. Let me grab some buttermilk real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to try that. Now I'm just doing just a smidge. Just like maybe a tablespoon, maybe. I'm gonna stir that around in there with a spoon. Just puts a little liquid in there, but whoop, it's coming out. Like, this is something I've never tried, so I'm gonna do something different today. Might as well, we're in the kitchen. I mean, I didn't even do like a tablespoon. But anyway, you can see it's got juice in it, and you can tell it's kind of slimy. If you look, that's what okra is. So that's going to cause our cornmeal to stick to it. So this is just cornmeal mix that I use. I'm going to start with 1/3 cup of cornmeal, and I'm just going to sprinkle that in. I'm going to stir it, and I'm going to see if I need some more. I think I do need a little more. I'm going to go ahead and do maybe half of that again. Just stir it up. You want it all good and coated really good. A little bit more cornmeal, I think. So I guess 2/3 is what I've used, a 2/3 cup. I think that's a 1/3 cup. Hang on one second. No, I'm sorry, it's a 1/4 cup, so that's a 1/2 cup of cornmeal. And you're just gonna stir it up till it gets coated good. And like I said, that buttermilk just went ahead and helped me get the juice up in there. But if you let it sit for a few minutes, a lot of times it will juice up itself. I think I'm gonna do just a smidgen more. Because you want that okra good and coated. Yeah, that looks better. All right, so maybe I used about almost 3/4 cups of cornmeal mix. All right, now that's what it looks like, guys. And we're gonna come over here to the stove and I'm gonna show you how to fry it in just a few minutes. I'll be right back, okay? Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna fry my okra now. Now what I did is I have a non-stick skillet here, and I've had this thing forever. I probably need to get a new one, but you're just going to pour enough vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you have. Vegetables, what I have today. You're just gonna coat the bottom of the pan and with vegetable oil or canola oil, and I'm using vegetable like I said. So we're gonna let it go. And what I usually do is I take one piece of okra and I drop it in there and I wait for it to start sizzling and frying, and it's barely starting to, so I'm gonna wait till that gets going really good, then I'm gonna put it all in there and then we're gonna get started. I need to get a spatula, and I don't think I have the right one. I guess I can use this one. Here, I'm gonna have me a little spatula so I can flip it around. I'll probably need my other one, but anyway, I'll find it in a minute. All right, you hear how that's starting to crackle and pop? It's almost there. But you always just use a piece of okra to kind of gauge what you need. Okay, it's starting to go pretty good. I think that's 2 pieces of okra actually, but it's all right. Anyway, it's just got to get to going pretty good, and then you can drop all of it in there. Now I've got my eye set on medium high, because you really want to get it started. You don't want to drop this okra in that oil and it not be hot, because it will just going to cause your stuff to be like greasy and mushy, and it's not going to crisp up good. So we're going to use, all right, it's going pretty good now. All right, so let me stir this up one more time, make sure I got everything coated. All right, here we go. You're just going to pour it all in there at one time. There's a little bit of loose cornmeal in there, that's fine, it can go too. I'm gonna set that aside. And then when you do that, you're gonna take your, because this oil is gonna get absorbed by that bread that's on your okra, so you wanna kind of toss it around and get that absorbed. And sometimes you have to add a little bit more oil, but sometimes you have enough, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm gonna watch it, see how quickly that oil is absorbed in the okra. So let's just let it cook for a little while. Get it started. All right, it's all coated really good. And then we're just gonna let it go. And like I said, as it starts to brown, when I flip it, as it starts to brown, I'm going to turn that eye down a little bit. But we're just gonna have to let it go. And then I'll come back and I'll show you as we're progressing, okay? Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Now I've been cooking my okra, I've been frying it for about 8 minutes. And it's basically absorbed all the oil in there. And you can see it's starting to brown. I had it up on medium high. Now I've got it turned down on medium. So now it's just kind of the time of where we just keep tossing it. Whoop, not throwing it out, but tossing it in there so it can get evenly browned and cooked, okay? So you just turn it down to about medium heat. I got it on 5, which is medium heat on my stove. Every stove's a little different. But you're just gonna let it go and just stir it often, just to keep it stirred so it won't burn on one side, so it all can brown. So when it browns up, I'll take this up and I'll show you what it looks like. We'll be back in just a few minutes, okay? Welcome back, everybody. I want to show you my okra. Now I have been cooking this. I cooked it for about whatever I said the first video, 5-6 minutes, and it started browning, so I started turning it down. I started out on medium high, then I turned it to medium. Now I've got it on like low. And it's pretty much done. As you can see, it's brown, and the okra has cooked down quite a bit, and it's soft. So this is pretty much done. You just want to get it, like I said, brown enough. Some people like a little bit more brown than this. Some people don't like it as brown. We like ours a little brown. But you can tell it is cooked. So I've got it on 1.8. So now I'm just going to turn this down to low, and I'm just going to let it sit here until we're ready to eat. So it's pretty much done. So I would say it takes about 12 to 15 minutes to fry this, if you want kind of an exact. So there it is, guys, fried okra. And I'm going to let it sit here, like I said, till we're ready to eat. I've got chicken casserole over here. I got some fried okra. I made some homemade coleslaw earlier, and I'm letting my potatoes get ready to boil. We're going to have mashed potatoes, fried okra, coleslaw, and we're going to have chicken casserole. But this right here is start to finish fresh garden okra and how to cut it up, bread it, and fry it. And I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meals with Marsha, and like this video and share. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.